All righty, getting ready. There we are. All righty. Start my recording here, and I'm going to. There we are. Sorry, guys. Hold on one second while I figure out my Zoom and everything. And here we go. All right. Hi, everyone. Videt Mayor here. I wanted to share this moment and come out live on this. Today is Sunday. I don't even know what the date is, to be quite honest with you. It's a Sunday in January. And here in Austin, Texas, it is snowing and has been snowing all day long. And the coolest thing about it is it's been such a sacred day of just feeling good. For once, there's 4 of us in this house. We're all feeling good. We're all feeling alive and wanting to be hunkered down together. So it's that cozy kind of day here. And as I said, we don't get snow hardly ever in Texas. So the fact that it's been snowing all day and we all got out and went to our local middle school just a couple blocks up the road, and there's a big hill. And y'all, I have to share this moment with you, because when I turned the corner and saw that whole hill just filled with families from our neighborhood all sledding and taking advantage of this snow day, and this just taking advantage of just being outside and forgetting about all the things that are going on in the world at the moment. And for that 1 hour or 90 minutes that we were there, we all just took it in, the nostalgia of it for me, looking around, growing up in the Northeast. And even still, I grew up sledding and snow skiing, and yet seeing the whole hill filled with families, I've never seen anything like it. And coming out of this year and being in these tumultuous times, to see what felt so normal and what we're all working so hard to create, which is that nostalgic childhood for our kids, to be standing there in it was a blissful, blissful moment. And when I came back, we had a fire going and we ate some really great food. I made an old Indonesian recipe from my former mother-in-law, who will never be my formal. She will always be one of my beautiful mother-in-laws. And she shared a traditional Indonesian recipe with me years ago. And I hadn't made it since I was divorced from her son. And that beautiful feeling of comfort that we were creating this morning, as we kind of saw the day and saw how cozy it could be and started to build the coziness of the day. Immediately when I thought, what do I want to cook? And I don't love cooking except when I have the time and I'm the desire, and it doesn't come often, but today it came, and I wanted to cook something from my family that was just comfort food. And growing up German, meat and potatoes is always something that used to come to mind. But today it was that Indonesian, we used to call it the fern dish. It's really a kale dish that has been translated into the United States version from what was my mother-in-law's native roots, which was Indonesian. And it was beautiful to smell the scent of the house, because it was cozy, and also because it was a part of her that I was bringing in, and allowing that energy or that scent to fill my boys' lungs. And when they were downstairs and they were doing their games, but I know that they were smelling it. And creating that kind of frequency of being, of security, is everything that I work towards every day. And I want to share that with you, because how we create our homes and how they feel determines the frequency that becomes our operating system. So when, crap goes down in our house, which pretty much does every single day, because we've got two teenagers and we're a blended family and we're all figuring each other out. And yet when we have those heavier days, those denser days, we can invite in more of, this energy that we've created today. It lingers. Our energy is all around, and we work most of our time here in our home to have a higher energy, to have a high vibration, so that when those days come in under the radar and they slap you upside the head, they punch you in the face, you're like, I did not see that crap day coming. We can kind of pull and borrow from some of the energy we created today in order to, to pull us up a little bit. So it's really important to nurture these days. And the best way that I knew to nurture my day even further, I kept my hat on because we don't get to wear them very often in Texas, but I wanted to come with you and help nurture your day, because I'm in that high space, that high version of myself at the moment. And I want to share some of that with you and bring through a message that is ours to hear today. So while I shuffle, thanks for letting me share that. I just thought it was a really good explanation as to what we're doing here, and ultimately these daily tune-ins they're going to be somewhat similar most days, but they're also going to be meander, and it may just be more of a perfect example of who I am. They might just be a disaster, and yet the perfect disasters are always the times that we can become vulnerable and connect with people. I'm not here to have a perfect setup. I have a great setup that I love, and I want to share with you. I'm not here to always be made up and perfect. I have zero makeup on except for mascara. But other than that, I'm not here to be something that I'm not. So if you're patient and can give me a little bit of grace, I know that I can deliver really, really great messages for you, because I have a beautiful source of collective energies that I pull from. And these are light beings and guides that are very clear to me in the communication. And they were very clear earlier that they have something that they would like to share with all of us. And that's why I'm here. So let's first give you a kind of an idea of the overall message for today. What are the energies being called for today for us to be aware of and to pay attention to, so that we can continue to get into a healthier and healthier emotional and energetic state, which then creates the physical state of being for us. So the first one is the Felix Felicitas power symbol to create lucky serendipitous events. How exciting, because we love when serendipitous events happen to us. When those surprises, those seemingly surprises pop up, and all of a sudden you meet the person that you're supposed to meet in order to move ahead in this job or to get this job or whatever, those serendipitous events that you think, I couldn't have made that happen. No matter how much I planned, I couldn't have made that happen. And that's really being called, the awareness of that is really being called to us to concentrate on, to be aware of the looking for the serendipitous, first, the thoughts, the ideas, the little rumblings of like, I should check that out. Or, that's the second time I heard that word. I should probably go see what that means. Or, those little things that just kind of keep reoccurring in front of you and keep reoccurring in front of you. And those are the kind of the pebbles of your guides, your intuitive guides, that are kind of giving you these pebbles and saying, here, go in this direction, go in that direction. And when you keep seeing the same thing, pay attention to that, because you're being called to go in that direction. I'm going to give you an example of this. In my normally weird community, we still haven't revealed where the big idea, where the big move is going. for us. We are transitioning our life in a really, really big way. And it's been, I'm not gonna lie, it's been stressful, it's been crazy, it's been a little bit frustrating. We've all been on top of each other as well because of, what we've been in. And so it's been a stressful 5, 6 months. And so we have decided in that 5 to 6 months to move forward to a really big transition. We live the American dream here. We have a beautiful home on a tree-lined street. Um, you know, we have the success that we want, and the success that we wanted was really to be living on our own terms, and as far as creativity and supporting ourselves with the creative love, the creative um, beauty that we have. And we're doing that. We're not wealthy from it by any stretch of the imagination, but we're getting by the same way we were working in the corporate world. We've pulled our boys out of school, and we are going on a journey to redefine what education feels like, as well as what does it mean to live the real American dream. And that's kind of become like an unimaginable dream at this point, because a lot of us live the American dream. We are very privileged, and yet we're very tethered, and we aren't free. So our unimaginable is living free, completely free to be us. And I share this because I'm also in the aspects of looking for the serendipities, what keeps showing up, what keeps revealing itself. And we have had this big goal, but now we're at the part where we're breaking down, like, what's our next step? And our next step just revealed itself yesterday, and it was the first leg of our trip, of our adventure. And it was as soon as we hit that, then the second leg opened up. So we have two legs that we weren't even expecting of this adventure that are now unfolding before we even get to the big one. So this is all serendipitous, and it's so beautiful, and it's so fun. It's what's putting the fun into our lives when it's a really kind of a crap show, here and there most days, because we're all just pent up, and we've got cabin fever. So look for the serendipities. That's really exciting. You're moving into a new higher realm. If you are here, you probably are, as my guess, because you are looking for ways to raise your vibration. You're understanding how you can tune in and become aware and be really consciously consciously in control of how you feel and how you operate in the world. So our first intention to kind of take this whole topic even deeper is the rescue. So in the spiritual intention, if you take a look, the rescue is very much the outer as well as the inner, the reflection, as above, so below. So you're being called, we are being called in this moment, in this next 48 hours until I do the next daily tune in. We're really being called to pay attention to what's on the inside that's leading you to these synchronicities, these little whispers. They keep coming through to me and saying it's that they feel annoying. You feel annoying. It's like that annoying thing that keeps popping up because it doesn't seem very significant, and yet they're saying it is. So you have to really be paying attention in the next 24 hours. And what is that gnawing thought that keeps coming? And it's going to feel something. It's going to feel, again, like it's like it doesn't matter, but you keep having it. So just giggle to yourself and follow whatever that annoying thing is, because you are being rescued from this resistance or from this hurdle that you might feel like you haven't been able to get over. And they're saying, we're trying to rescue you. We keep telling you, like, not telling, they don't tell. When you hear your intuition, it's not going to feel like they're telling you or yelling it at you. It's going to appear to be a thought. It's going to appear to be a gut instinct, that it's like, turn left here, and you don't, and then in the next day you go to the same route and you're like, turn left here, and then finally you're gonna be like, fine, I'm gonna turn left. And whatever it is for you to find or realize or to notice or become aware of in that journey is exactly why you had to turn left. We are being called to pay attention to the inner whispers of our intuition, of our guides, whatever you want to call it. Field of dreams, thinking of moving into that place of following those annoying little nudges and moving us into the field of dreams. This is the feeling part. So when you move into the field of dreams, look how bright and airy and cheerful and light this image looks. When you feel cheery and airy and light, that's when you know that you have to follow that nudge. So you get the thought to turn left and you're like, this is so fun. This is so dumb. This is coming up again. And yet, what are you doing? You're laughing about it. You're like, shoot, because now you've recognized it. So when you do recognize it and you feel that field of dreams, that loving presence that says, will you please listen and just go left, in the real world, oh, goblins come up. So what happens when you start living in that light-hearted spirit, that light spirit, it starts to disrupt the goblins. That stuff like that doesn't like the light, you know, like those animals that are like, they hibernate during the day, or, you know, like all of the mythological stuff that we know, like the vampires that don't like the light. This is just guiding us to really start to trust the intuitive nudges so that we can be in that space, in that higher. So it's trusting the intuitive nudges that are coming from this place, in that field of dreams where you just giggle and be like, geez, because they have to burn up those little goblins, those remaining little goblins in there that have to of energy. And those little goblins are those lower vibrational feelings like shame and guilt and fear, lots of fear in the world at the moment. So that all has to be brought to the surface. So when it is brought to the surface and you're feeling higher doses of anxiety or depression or pain or sadness than normal today, it's be aware that a lot of energy is being pulled up and releasing some of that denser stuff. The other thing I wanted to show you as well, real quick, just to tie this all together, and now it makes sense. I was looking at the Schumann Resonance. If you don't follow it, you should. I think it's quite fascinating because this measures the frequency of Earth, and we've had some massive photon light coming in the last 12 hours or so. And the average, see this line right here, this is the average, this green line. That is the average frequency of Earth, and it's typically around 7.8 hertz. And we're spiking up to like, I mean, geez, like 30, I can't see my glasses, 32 to 36 hertz. So megahertz. So I'm sorry, 32 hertz. If I'm wrong on that, somebody tell me, but I'm pretty sure that's correct. Anyway, either way, you see that there's a lot of energy hitting our Earth right now. Therefore, those synchronicities, all of that light is going to start to release and bubble up those synchronistic thoughts and ideas and opportunities to quantum leap you to the next level of your higher self. And you just simply pay attention by paying attention to how you feel for the next 24, 48 hours. You are only in tune to how you feel, because when you feel that field of dreams, you simply say yes to whatever the idea is. And you know to expect there's going to be some goblins that show up, and those goblins are simply there for you to recognize that last minute, like that last purge, and you just give it thanks and say, thank you. This purge is coming out, and I'm going to be patient with it, and I'm going to be graceful with myself as I just simply purge some of this residual crap that's still being dissolved from this huge amount of photon and spiritual light of consciousness coming in. A really, really powerful day. I have felt this. What I feel grateful for right now is typically those really big spiky days in the last 3 to 4 months would send me into a lot of that darkness. And what I told my husband earlier before I came in with you is, you know what, we had all that light coming in and we were in bliss during, you know, the snow falling and the sledding that we did. So I feel good that those goblins didn't show up today. So if your goblins are here, just thank them, just be with them, get a bath, take a nap, just give yourself permission to be cranky, because it's a temporary thing. Okay. So just hang in there. This is going to be a beautiful time. This is going to be a beautiful year. I know it doesn't feel like that right now, but I'm just telling you, I know from the feels of my soul, and that is how I communicate. I communicate through feelings. I communicate through energy. I know it is going to be a glorious year. We just can't see it right now because we're like this in the moment looking at all the stuff, but I'm holding the space for us and I know it. We're good. Tune in here with me every single, I don't know if it's going to be every single day, but it'll definitely be between 24 and 48 hours of each other. And these daily tune-ups are exactly what we need to tune into the frequencies of the day, see what, check in with our guides. Our collective guides come together to guide us through these readings, and they guide us into what do we need to be aware of. And that is how we heal the dis-ease that we feel in our bodies. And that is what I'm here to do as a healer. I'm Videt Mayor. I'd love to invite you to come by videtmayor.com and visit me, see what we're doing, and also come by our Normally Weird page, which is me writing about our journey coming out of the American dream and saying we get a second chance at this and we are rebuilding the unimaginable dream that we originally had. So come along with us on that journey. I would love to meet you and hear your thoughts. And don't forget to subscribe. I have to say all this stuff. It's like a commercial, but then like, I'll throw it in there. It's a shameless plug, but you know what? I love what I'm doing. And if you have any dis-ease or disharmony in your body and in your mind, I'm here to help you. Thanks for being here. Mwah. Take care.